Andreas Lubitz Friends in the co-pilot's hometown express shock and surprise. Marseille prosecutor says co-pilot Andreas Lubitz crashed plane deliberately. Both he and pilot Patrick Sonderheimer trained at Lufthansa flight training school in Bremen. Andreas Lubitz was the boy who grew up dreaming of flying and of one day becoming a pilot. He went on to fulfill his ambition, but it now appears that it was at the cost of 149 innocent lives. The circumstances leading up to the Airbus which Lubitz was co-piloting flying into an alpine mountainside are now the subject of a police investigation. The Marseille prosecutor said on Thursday that the co-pilot of the Germanwings flight may have crashed the plane deliberately. The co-pilot is alone at the controls, prosecutor Bryce Robin said, drawing on information gathered from the black box recorder. He voluntarily refused to open the door of the cockpit to the pilot and voluntarily began the descent of the plane. Mr. Robin said Lubitz had a deliberate desire to destroy this plane. He refused to open the door of the cockpit to the pilot and deliberately began the descent of the plane. The young Lubitz was brought up in the small town of Mondabur, 20 minutes drive from the German city of Koblenstadt with his father, a successful business executive, and his mother a piano teacher. His family could well afford the cost of flying lessons at his local club, Lufthansa Club Westerwald. Here he first started in the cockpit of a light aircraft at the age of 14 and after a couple of years of instruction under dual controls was able to fly on his own. Klaus Racker, the club's chairman, said, "It was his dream to fly from an early age and it was a dream he began to fulfill here, so when he went on to gain his commercial license and fly planes like the Airbus he was very happy and proud." Mr. Racker last saw Lubitz in the autumn of last year, when the Germanwings pilot returned to the club to renew his light aircraft flying license and take part in the club's barbecue, which he attended with a girlfriend. Nobody at the club noticed anything strange in his demeanor. He seemed normal, proud of his job after so much training. He seemed happy, said Mr. Racker. "I always found him a friendly, if very reserved, person. Open and polite." The pilots who immolated themselves and their passengers, we only hear screams in the last seconds. Death was instant. Lubitz left Mondabur at the age of 20 in 2007 to begin his commercial pilot's training in the northern German city of Bremen. It was a year into his training that he appears to have suffered the breakdown and took a break, before returning to qualify. A mother of a schoolmate told the Frankfurter Allgemeine Zeitung that he had told her daughter he had taken a break from his pilot training because he was suffering from depression. Apparently he had a burnout. He was in depression, the woman, whom the paper did not name. She said her daughter had seen him again just before Christmas and that he had appeared normal. She added he was a lovely boy. He had a good family background, she told the paper. By the time of the accident he was still relatively inexperienced, having notched up only 630 hours of flying time, compared to the flight's captain, who had flown for more than 6,000 hours and had worked for Lufthansa for 10 years. The captain was Patrick Sonderheimer, a father to 2 children, had joined Germanwings in May 2014. Previously he was a pilot with Lufthansa and Condor, a Lufthansa partner airline. He had been a pilot for 10 years. 14. Previously he was a pilot with Lufthansa and Condor, a Lufthansa partner airline. He had been a pilot for 10 years. Like many, Mr. Racker has also been left stunned by what happened above the French Alps on Tuesday, and he was anxious that a full and comprehensive investigation takes place before final judgment is passed on his fellow club member. Both the people who died and their friends and family survived deserve that, at the very least, he said. I find it hard to believe that Andreas, who dreamt of flying and of being a pilot, would deliberately fly his plane into a mountain and kill all those people. If that is true, it also means that the results of all the psychological tests he would have had to take to be a pilot were wrong. The 27-year-old's parents, neighbors and the affluent suburb on the edge of Monteborol spoke of a polite, if not particularly gregarious, man. Johannes Rosbach, 23, who lives 2 doors away from Lubitz, said he would regularly see the pilot jogging through the neighborhood's quiet streets. Mr. Rosbach said, he was very polite. He would always say hello and goodbye. There certainly seemed nothing out of the ordinary about him. He added, I didn't realize he was a pilot until I heard it yesterday. And today's news is absolutely shocking. I can't believe someone like that would kill 149 other people. It's something that absolutely needs investigating and proving before we can believe it. Thank you for listening to News Today. Please subscribe for more.